Irreverent, entertaining, cool. You're listening to LA Talk Radio.
You're listening to Question Reality with Priscilla Leona, right here on LA Talk Radio.
Hello! Welcome to the Question Reality Radio Show. I'm Priscilla Leona, producer and host of this show, and we are coming to you live. I'm still alive. I can't believe it. Some days go by. I'm like, oh, God, will I wake up dead tomorrow? And I thought, well, that's crazy. I wouldn't even wake up. But, you know, I went to a pool party. That's why I'm saying it, because there were lots of cocktails involved at the pool party yesterday. So anyway, we're still alive from Los Angeles, California. Now, for 14 years, we have been providing our audience with entertainment industry career advice. Now, this show is for you if you are, you're going to love how I tied this in, if you are questioning your career reality about pursuing a career in show business, or if you're already working in the entertainment industry and you just need some tips, advice, or resource information on how to elevate your career status. Now, some of the guests on our show include Emmy Award winners, we have Grammy Award winners, we have Tony Award winners, we have reality TV stars, and just a wide spectrum, wide variety of working show business professionals, such as film, television, music, radio producers and directors. We have casting directors, literary agents, casting agents, PR agents. We have talent managers, screenwriters, publicists, actors, comedians, singers, novelists, script supervisors. We have stunt people. Some of my favorite, you know, I love a hot guy, love my stunt men. Try to bring them on as much as possible. We have celebrity makeup artists, and we throw in an entertainment lawyer, because you know you've made it if you can pay a retainer for an entertainment lawyer. You're like, yes, I'm there. So we have those on to give you advice. Now, no longer do you have to use LegalZoom. You can hire an entertainment lawyer. It's not as hard as you think, and it is a must and a reality of the business. Now, if you missed any of our shows, here are the 3 ways that you can listen to any of them. Number 1, download our free mobile app, which is on the App Store or the Google Play Store. We're on iHeartRadio. We're on iTunes. We're on Amazon Podcasts, Google, Audible.com, Stitcher.com. Just Google it, Question Reality or LA Talk Radio, and we are there. And you can also listen to us on our archive page. Listen directly from the website that you're listening to us on right now. You just want to look for the show title, which is Question Reality, or you can look for my name, Priscilla Leona, under the Our Host tab. And a favor, we kindly ask you, please subscribe to our podcast via Apple Podcasts. And as you know, we all need a little thumb these days, a little follow, a little like. We need it. That's just what's happening. That's just the world. And we ask that you go to all of our social media pages. We're on all the major platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, under my name, Priscilla Leona. Which brings me into my tip, which is for my audience. When you are considering a career, it is so important that you, number one, I recommend it, that you think about branding. You have to keep it consistent. You got to think about, where am I going to be 5 years from now? Is this name going to work for me? Is this representing my brand? Try to stay away from the cutesy stuff, like Debbie does Dallas, or, I do Dallas, or whatever. Yeah, I don't know where I got that. I was talking to an ex-porn star at a pool party yesterday. I think that's why it popped into my head. But you get the point. Don't do cute names and have different names for each of your social media pages, because when you're at a party and you're networking and you're trying to meet the right people and sell your products and showcase yourself, they are going to immediately go, okay, what's your name? Right. When they Google you, if they forget you at the party and they didn't collect your contact information, they're going to Google you. And your name needs to be found on Google. So try to keep it professional if you can. Finally, if you want to be booked on our show to promote and showcase your talents, either your current or your upcoming projects or products, and you just want to help listeners by providing really appreciated entertainment industry career advice, please go to our official website. Now, we have a 10-second attention span, right? That's what the world has come to, the internet and our devices. So I need you to focus. Please, you have to go to our official website, which is questionrealityradioshow.com. questionrealityradioshow.com. Not this website that you're listening to us on now, which is obviously latalkradio.com. This is the website where we air our radio show. So again, go to questionrealityradioshow.com. This is where you can see our annual guest schedule. You might want to go there and take a peek at who the upcoming guests are, check out their sites, and look for a profession that you are pursuing or want to pursue. And to submit, you just click the contact link. Really, really, really easy and short. We just need your name, email, title, and website, and that is it. Yeah, and you are good to go. All right, that's over. Now we get to the super duper fun part where the guest comes on and tells you all about his life or her life or their life. And if you've been with me for 14 years, you know I have a pattern. You know I love me some sexy, hot men on the show. And that's not don't judge me. I'm just telling you what I like. It's okay. We can be individuals. So when when it was proposed that these two gentlemen come on today, I immediately said, okay, let me do my research. And I first saw their picture. I said, holy fuck, these guys are hotter than hot. My God, I don't know if my heart's going to stand it through the whole interview, because I'm going to be trying to ask questions, but I'm going to be thinking about how gorgeous they are. And, unfortunately, you have to be gorgeous to really build up the female fan base. Well, actually build up the fan base. And they have so many followers, not only because of their talent, but because they be looking good. Right? They be rocking the Casbah in the hots department. So let me tell you a little bit about them. They are called, and I love the title of this, whoever came up with the name of this band, I say kudos to you. It's called ZupaNova. Like supernova. Zupa with a Z, Z-U-P-A, ZupaNova band. I'm going to just give you like a brief bio. They're a Los Angeles band, and the core band members include Rossell Cooks. I don't know if it's Roysell or Rossell. I did not ask him, but I see it spelled both ways, so we'll find out. Roysell or Rossell Cooks. He is a musician, a music producer, and artist. And then we also have Davey Brown, musician, music producer, and artist. And they are, which I love this little phrasing someone came up with. They're a zooped up I love that. A zooped up, all-encompassing fusion explosion of music, fashion, and culture. And ZupaNova has had 2 songs chart the top 40 on U.S. radio, iHeartRadio, the media base in 2020 and 2021. And this year, 2022, their song is called Don't Think, featuring the international Billboard artist. And again, I butcher names, but I'm going to give it a shot. Ikapo, I think, Ikapo. I apologize if it's Ikapu or Ikapo, but I'm going to go Ikapo. It sounds more exotic to me. And it's currently the number 5 most streamed and downloaded song on the North American college radio station. So ZupaNova, they are also, not only are they just beauty fashion plates, now they are active members and ambassadors for this foundation called ambition.org. And if that sounds familiar, it's because they have members such as Richard Branson, Paris Hilton, Carter Reum, Ashton Kutcher, and just a whole bunch. Just a lot of celebrities are associated with this charity organization. We're going to find out more about it and how they got involved. They collaborate with a variety of artists around the world, and they have, I guess I would say a superior music vision, in my opinion, based on the research I've done. I feel like they have a futuristic music development perspective based on how their careers have come along. And I think they also have this nonstop drive, which I think has created a unique multi-genre, because when you listen to their music, you go, is it Latin, is it pop, is it this, and that I think is great, that you can hear so many different genres in a song. I mean, I just love it personally. So I think they're just an LA mating pot. Oh, they're also based, they're both from Southern California, so they're just an LA melting pot sound. And what I also want to point out that ZupaNova is signed with Jeff Arcio. He's the CEO, managing partner of Gig Productions and Creative Media Crew. And I believe they specialize in talent management, live events, and film production. So I want everyone to go to their website. I have to tell you right now, I want to get this out of the way. Because I booked, 14 years I booked a lot of people. And usually my biggest pet peeve is that people do not have professional looking websites. And I really wanted to compliment, I don't know who did their website, but I want to tell everyone to go to their website, because this website that ZupaNova has is a must-see, not only to listen to their music and find out more about the band, but in my personal opinion, because I also own a website design business, I feel that their website is the personification of what a modern day musical artist website needs to look like and entail. They have everything. They've got it locked and loaded. I don't know who's in charge of that for their band, but I'm going to ask the guys to give them my compliments and tell them it's an absolute perfect website. And you listening, you need to go to this website and follow what they've done there. And also, they need to give that website designer a raise, which I don't know if they're going to want to do it, but they need to. Okay, site. Go to their website, ZupaNovaOfficial.com. Z as in zebra, U-P-A, Nova, N-O-V-A, official.com. You can also find them. I want you to go give them a little finger and a follow, a little thumb, on their Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. They're under ZupaNova. They're on Twitter at ZupaNova M. Okay? So, without further ado, you are going to get to hear the voices. They are you ready? We have, again, Rossell and Davey. Welcome to the shows, guys.
Hey, oh my God, what an introduction. Wow, Priscilla. Thank you so much. That is an honor.
Did you realize you guys did that in harmony? You went, you didn't even realize that. You've been together so long, you're just speaking. You're like twins, like the Doublemint twins. You're just speaking, on the same pitch, right? So I wanted to.
Wow.
Yeah, you notice it. Now, first of all, Rossell, is it Roycell or Rossell? Because I see it spelled differently.
Okay, so it's Roycell, and because I have certain people from the hood that can't say Roycell, they say Rossell, so it's both.
Stop it!
So basically, so I've had my artist name became a name that people couldn't actually say my real name, Roycell. So it's Roycell, aka Rossell.
Wow. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that because I thought you were raw dogging it, and that's where you got that nickname. I'm like, what is going on with this guy? I hope that's not the case, but we pick up our nicknames for a reason. Now, first of all, Rossell, oh my God, yeah. I was screaming, boy, when I found out that you were I just saw this on your Facebook page. You were on The Price is Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
you were.
Wow,
now,
yeah.
Yeah, because
Isn't
you know what?
Trip?
Yeah, back in the 90s, my friend AJ and I waited in line to be on that damn show for hours because we love Bob Barker. And we had rented a car, and while our asses were standing in line, someone broke into our car, stole the camera equipment, and the saddest part is we had just met and taken photos with Urkel. Remember Urkel on that show?
Yeah, Steve Urkel. Yes,
I loved him. We had, it was so bummed out. But I just wanted to find out. Okay, so I'm watching your video, and I see that you won the extra $500 for guessing the right price, and then you get up there, you spin the wheel, and it's like that's it. You left us hanging. What the hell happened, Rossell?
Okay.
Did you?
Okay, so the funny thing is, first of all, I was invited to support my friend who actually auditioned for that show. Oh. So all of a sudden, they're calling my name, and I'm like, what? So I get down there. I'm pretty decent with prices and everything, and they had a prize. They had different prizes they would drop, and you have to guess that prize. So one of the prizes they dropped, I guessed the exact prize. And yes, I got that $500 bonus. But when just like you said, it's like, oh my gosh, I grew up watching that show, and I never imagined that I would be up having the opportunity to spin that wheel. So yes, got to spin that wheel, and I tied with one of the other contestants, and then the last contestant beat us both. So that's but at least I got to spin the wheel.
Yes, I know. That's the main thing, spinning that wheel. That's all I want to do is spin the wheel, right? So do you get to keep the money?
What? Yeah, you get to keep the money and the prize. Oh. So the first game I did good. The second game I didn't do good, but at least I got up there, spun the wheel.
You made it.
I made it.
Yes.
And I've always wanted to spin the wheel. I spun it really hard because I was like always wondering, like, what does it feel like to spin the wheel?
Oh, yeah. Hey, if you're going to spin it, you better spin it.
You better spin it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so it was just the experience. I got to shake Drew Carey's hand, and what more can you say? It was fun.
God, that would have been a dream come true, because we didn't even make it that far because it was so hot. We were standing in line. We were up to our 4th hour. Now we're talking a long time ago. We're talking the beginning of the 90s when I moved out here in 92. So it was a different process back then, because I noticed in that audience, I haven't watched the show in a long time, but I noticed there were only a couple people in the audience. Was that during the pandemic that they shot that?
That was after the pandemic, but they just kind of changed the atmosphere where they didn't have as many people as they used to.
Oh, is that going to be the way it is going forth, you think, or?
It looks like it. If you see some of the game shows are kind of spread out like that, and it looks like that's what they're doing.
I like it. Well, what'd you do with your money?
I put it back into ZupaNova.
Oh, yeah. All right. We want to hear that. Now, Davey, I wanted to tell you, first of all, that my husband and I, when I was doing the research, he was sitting next to me, and I was so impressed with your Facebook post where you were describing what was involved being a musician and an artist. I said, honey, you got to listen to this. This guy is so articulate. He is just, he really knows how to grab an audience, hook, line, and sinker. You got to read this. So my husband starts reading it. He said, wow, I'm really impressed. I'm going to start following him. What's his name? So now he is a forever fervent fan of yours, because you're
awesome. Thank you very much.
You are an excellent. I would imagine you're probably an excellent orator, but your descriptions were so astute, and they were succinct, and they were terse, because as you know, so many times when people try to explain things, they tend to go on a diatribe, and then we don't have the attention spans we used to, and people lose interest very fast. But again, your words are very powerful, and they're able to hold an audience. So I commend you for that. That's hard to do day and age.
Oh, thank you so much.
So look at that. Not only are you looking like a million, you can act. You got skills. You got writing. So Davey, again, from what I read, you're a multi-genre music producer. You're a recording artist. I thought I was going to run out of breath when I was reading your multi-hyphenate titles. You're a recording artist, a songwriter, a composer, arranger, a multi-instrumentalist, a recording engineer, a mixing engineer, a mastering engineer, a graphic designer, a film editor, and a music educator. Wait, people, he plays drums, percussion, bass, piano, guitar, and he's a classically trained pianist. I'm like, holy shit, when did you have time to learn all this? Because I'm looking at you, and you look like you're still in your, in your 20s. So I'm like, when did he get started in the womb? What was going on there? I mean, it's crazy.
My mom says my first instrument was at 6 months. I started whistling. So, and then by the time I was able to hold sticks, then I would sit in my dad's lap in diapers playing drums. By the time I was 5, I was starting to write and compose my own songs on the piano with 2 hands. So my mom told my dad, look, come see him. And then they put me in lessons. At that point, I was classically trained on piano until I was about 14. And then just growing up in the house, I grew up in a house of musicians. So my dad was a multi-instrumentalist. My older brother is a multi-instrumentalist. So, I mean, there was instruments just laying around the house everywhere. And, I mean, pretty much anybody in that environment was bound to pick up something. So
yeah,
it was
your
it's in
father,
the blood and it's in the house.
Your father, yeah, that's what Albert said. Albert said he's got the DNA, he's got the blood, because my husband is a software engineer designer by day, but he's a jazz musician on the weekend. So he plays bass and guitar. So he's like, why did I have to have a father that was an international engineer, and we traveled all over, and I never got to learn any more instruments? So he swears that the reason reason he doesn't have your talents because of his father. It's in the DNA. He said it's in the cell memories. I believe that to a certain extent. I really do. But your father was a world-class Latin jazz musician and vocalist. And he too, from what I read, he played drums and congas and timbales, I think it's called, auxiliary percussion, harmonica, alto sax, tenor sax, baritone sax. Wow. I mean, just to name a few, do you feel, because I've known people that have become doctors and lawyers who grew up in a house full of musicians, but I guess you got to at some point really love that. So can you briefly tell us how you feel right now when you hear your brief bio being read and think about your journey?
I mean, really, it was one of those things where I feel like I didn't have a choice, just in the sense that growing up with such great musicians around me, I was able to see the fun, the passion, the joy, the excitement, the creativity. And it's kind of like monkey see, monkey do, but especially when you see somebody proficient and somebody having so much fun doing it, and then you see your older brother, you know, everybody's influenced by their family to some degree, but when you see them having fun at something and you see them doing it really well, you know, you want to be like them. You want to do what they're doing. So we didn't really have like video games or, you know, I mean, we had like a stick and a rock. Other than that, it was instruments. And so for me, it wasn't even a choice. It was just, that was just what I did. I didn't know anything.
Yeah. You didn't know anything.
Yeah.
So if I had to ask you, what would you say was your most absolute profound memory ever? It could be playing, it could be having experience with your dad, it could be your first gig. What is your most profound memory of being who you are today?
Musically speaking, which I guess is just me in general, would be considered musically speaking. My most profound memory would probably be jamming in the garage with my dad and my brother.
Oh, lovely. Yeah. I guess so. That makes sense because you were surrounded with music and having that bond, that very close bond that the three of you could share. There are so many fathers and sons that have absolutely nothing in common. And you were very lucky in that sense. So great for you. Now, Rossell, we would love to hear the backstories from your perspectives from both perspectives of your journey, which eventually led to meeting each other and forming your band. So let's start with you. I did read in your bio that you and a gentleman named Dante were recognized and recruited by Interscope Records, and I think they had the recording artist, the Black Eyed Peas, in '93. And apparently you and Donnie and Will.i.am, oh, I love this man. I saw him on the Graham Norton show, and I just fell in love with him. Will.i.am, and Taboo, you formed a crew called, and you're going to have to help me with this one, Brashigis? I hope. And how was it pronounced? Brashigis. Okay. And that consisted of singers and rappers and dancers and writers and DJs and producers from the LA hip hop scene. Which, God, that must have been fun. So I think that you said that opened the door for you to work with the Black Eyed Peas and then Ray J and Randy Jackson and American Idol finalist and God, so many artists. My God, a whole lot. Can you briefly tell us how you feel when you think about that journey?
Yeah, definitely. It's pretty much surrounding yourself around people who are inspired to do something. For us, it was music. And me and my friends, Ray, we created our group, and we were hitting up. We were doing songs, and we were trying to do what we could to break in the industry. And so we would go to the clubs, and we would run into this guy named Will 1X, who's basically Will.i.am, but that was his name at the time. And so we were going to clubs at that time. David Faustino had a club called Ballistics we would go to. And I would run into Will I Am. He was like, hey, you guys need to come over to the studio. So we went over to the studio, and we were like, they were like, it's a trip back then because they used to wear thrift clothes, and we were like wearing the trendy clothes. So we would bag on each other like, hey, look at you guys in your thrifty clothes. We were like, look at you guys in your trendy clothes. But we got along. And so we would rap battle, we would dance battle. And he was like, man, we like you guys' vibe. And he invited us over to the studio, and one thing formed to another, and we created the Bro Shiggies. And the Bro Shiggies was a crew of singers, writers, dancers, and producers. And it was basically an acronym that stands for Brothers and Sisters High in God's Eternal Eye. And so it was a positive movement. It was all about progression and really challenging each other to become better artists. And so a lot of influence came from working with them, kind of like how we created ZupaNova, because they're a diverse group. And just to see your own friends explode and become the global sensation, that is the supernova. So that inspired me to be like, hey, I wanted to do something working with them because I didn't really want to I wanted to do something myself. Being around them, it just inspired me to create something. And a lot of people kind of heard what I was doing. And one of my best friends, he was like, you got to meet my cousin. You got to meet my cousin. And he was, you usually have one of those friends that are like, meet my fam, meet my cousin. And I had a studio session, and he brought over Davy Brown. And Davy Brown came through, the multi-talented guy that we're talking about, one-man band, and he just slayed the studio session. And I was like, oh my gosh, we need to become a team. We need to work together, and we need to be the ZupaNova. And he is just multi-talented, able to play everything from jazz, Latin, to hip-hop, R&B, soul. And it's inspirational for me to work with somebody creative like that, because the Black Eyed Peas are very universal, as you hear with their sound, and to partner with somebody who's creatively as universal as I am, we became the ZupaNova. And so we realized that's the inspiration to pass on to others, is being zooped up. You're Zupa too. Let's inspire this whole movement, the Zupa world of ZupaNova.
Oh, because I was wondering where that name came from, ZupaNova. I was going to ask you how that was formed, how you came up with that name.
Yeah.
So who technically said ZupaNova? Like Harry Styles said, One Direction. That's what we have to be. Who said ZupaNova?
Right. We said ZupaNova Los Angeles is the melting pot of the world. To see your friends is be influenced by that. You have Filipinos, Latinos, you got Caucasians, African Americans, all in the same circle. And so it's just a powerful, inspirational thing to be a part of. And you can see how big and influential that can be. So the perfect definition of that was a supernova, but we have to put our own touch and vibe to that and call it the ZupaNova. And instead of the A to the Z, we formed the Z to the A. And we have a whole language. Yeah, we have a whole language where we just spreading Zupa love to people, having Zupa gratitude and being Zupa dope. And we just have a whole empire ready with ZupaNova that we're pushing forward with.
Well, I sure hope you have some T-shirts, because that is T-shirt worthy. You better send my ass a T-shirt over. I want a T-shirt.
Yes, of course. We got you.
Would you, because your music transcends many different genres, I don't want to lock you into one specific genre, but if you had to give, say, a log line of what genre your music is, if you had like an old white fluffy person saying, so what genre of music do you do? What would you say?
we used to tell people it's the life of the party and music, but if we were to, I guess, put it in a particular genre, I guess it would be urban pop.
Okay, urban pop. Urban pop. Yep. Okay, let's talk about your latest release called Don't Think. Don't Think. Don't. Wait a minute. What is that? Wasn't there a song by Gwen Stefani? Don't Think. Oh, was it? I know what you do. What was that called? What was that song? Don't think.
Now it did. Don't think. No matter what you say to me. Yeah.
So it's actually Don't Speak.
Don't speak.
Yeah.
Don't speak. Yeah, don't speak.
Yeah. Oh, don't speak. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And she was with the Black Eyed Peas, right? At one time, that's where she started out. I didn't even get that.
Well,
that's a total coincidence.
They did a big tour together, and Fergie, me and Fergie went to high school together, actually. And so, we ran into each other. I was like, I'm working with the Black Eyed Peas, and you should get in the studio with them. She was like, what? Those are my favorite group right there. I'm like, come through. She came through, and the rest is really history. She, at that time, they were working with Where's the Love with Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
And he happened to get on there. So the rest is history.
Yeah. Well, my favorite song of hers is what is it? How does that go? Every time you come around my London Bridge coming down. You remember that? London. I think Will I Am was on that, right?
Well, he produced it. He produced it.
He produced it, right.
So, a lot, and that's the energy and the vibe that, is there in that circle. And so we're very much, creatively in the same lane in a sense, but our own thing.
Yeah, you guys have worked with the greats, and for them to want you to be in their, their clique, their circle, that says that is an attestment to your greatness. You're right up there with them. You can hang with the big boys. Yeah, because they're icons. They're icons. Now, we are going to play the song Don't Think real quick. I know there's always a backstory behind this. Now, I know that you had a collaboration with, gosh, I hope I pronounce this right. Is it Ikapo or Akapo?
It's Jacopo.
Jacopo. It has an I. That totally threw me off. Yeah. Iakopo is how it's spelled, but it's Jacopo. Okay. For those who don't, we're going to play it real quick, but for those who don't know who this person is, can you please explain who he is and how, what prompted that collaboration with this song?
So Jacopo, like us, was born in California, but he was raised in the islands over in Samoa. And so he, at a young age, was in music and playing in clubs and bars, even though he wasn't, of legal age. But he was so talented that, that everyone wanted him to play. So his name grew big. He blew up. Next thing you know, he's got a #1 single on Hawaiian radio, well, really all over the islands. Became island famous, and then over the years he's moved out of Samoa, toured around all over the world, has lived in Hawaii, has lived in Japan, and then most recently now he's back living in California.
Oh, great. And so this, you met him, it prompted this collaboration, and this is the song by the band, and with I guess, how would you word that? With him being the featured vocalist, is that how would you word that?
Well, we just basically put both our names on there, Jacopo and ZupaNova. Don't Think.
Okay, got it. Okay, let's hear this song. And when we come back, we are going to close it out with you telling us about ambition.org and what's on the horizon for ZupaNova. So without further ado, let's hear Don't Think.
Yeah, yeah. I like the, I love the, I want the pressure. Give it to me now, now. I touch you, I hold you, put in the effort. Give it to me now, now. I like the, I love the, I want the pressure. Give it to me now, now. I touch you, I hold you, put in the effort. Give it to me now, now. Don't think when you're rolling with me, we're smoking up trees and we're feeling so free. Don't think when we're posted outside and you're on my side, baby, you're my vibe. Don't think she push up on me and don't feel bad. She going wild, don't know how to act. Ain't gon' flinch, ain't gon' bleed. Got me thinking, baby, got me on the brink. Don't think, baby, she a shooter. We getting lost in Bermuda. Every little sip, she getting cuter. Pop up in my Ruba on the scooter. Baby, get high up on this Buddha. I'm just in my vibe, I might see you love. Got her rolling up in doobies and we smoke up. She go crazy when I keep her waiting too long. Don't think when you're rolling with me, we're smoking up trees and we're feeling so free. Don't think when we're posted outside and you're on my side, baby, you're my vibe. Don't think she push up on me and don't feel bad. She going wild, don't know how to act. Ain't gon' flinch, ain't gon' bleed. Got me peeking, baby, got me on the brink. Don't think
you ain't gotta think too far.
girl,
You ain't gotta try too hard.
again.
You ain't gotta think too far. You ain't gotta try too hard. Say, ooh, you make me wanna slide that. Say, ooh, you make me wanna try that. Say, ooh, you make me wanna slide that. Say, ooh, you make me wanna try that.
Don't think when you're rolling with me, we're smoking up trees and we're feeling so free. Don't think when we're posted outside and you're on my side, baby, you're my vibe. Don't think she push up on me and don't feel bad. She going wild, don't know how to act. Ain't gon' flinch, ain't gon' bleed. Got me thinking, baby, got me on the brink. Don't think,
Baby, don't think, don't think. You too insecure, you're putting all love on brink. So don't think, baby, I'm not the villain. My heart is spilling to the ceiling, I'm out for millions. So don't think, we came this far just to let it go. Blaming me for every girl you think is a we gon' pull up in a drop top with y'all go pro. And you can watch from the sidelines while we get this dough. So don't think
when you're rolling with me, we're smoking up trees and we're feeling so free.
Don't think
when we're posted outside and you're on my side, baby, you're my vibe.
Don't think
She push up on me and don't feel bad. She going wild, don't know how to act. Ain't gon' flinch, ain't gon' bleed. Got me thinking, baby, got me on the brink. Don't think.
Woo! You know what? I had to whip out the disco hips on that one. I was like, whoa, stop. Where are my stilettos? That is such a
love it.
great. I mean, you can really rock and groove to that song, can't you? It's sexy and it's sultry and it's passionate and it just makes you feel like there's a transition from starting out feeling like, yeah, let's groove, and then by the time you're done, you just want to whip out many devices with you. It's too sexy for me.
Wow, thank you.
I love it.
Wow.
Oh, it's great. Now we want to know where we can buy this song. Where can we buy it?
You can find it everywhere. You can find it on Spotify. It's on YouTube, YouTube Music, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Pandora. I mean, it's Tidal. It's literally everywhere.
That's right. And you know why? Because you guys handle your business. You can find it everywhere. everywhere. So many times people come on. I'm like, where can we find your song? It might be on Spotify. It might be on Reverb. I'm like, oh, you better tell me where it is. I didn't, but you know, you guys really have it locked out. Now, I want to know where you guys are going to be. Now, I know that you're doing something with ambition.org, right? Tell us about what ambition.org is, how you got involved. What can we do to help?
Ambition.org is a close friend to ours. The founder, her name is Nancy Gale, and she has a really incredible story and past, which is just for a woman, she's just been through so much, and a very touching story, which inspired her to create Ambition. And it's an in-school program in Lawndale, Los Angeles, with about 30 students that are there yearly, and about 30 mentors and ambassadors that all basically work together to inspire, mentor, and help these students out. They're disadvantaged youth, and the program is very much based off of entrepreneurship, teaching them and inspiring them on entrepreneurship. There's a couple of movements that are also tied to it. One, which is You Don't Know About Me. And we're opening up and being somewhat of a book that you can't judge by its cover, and opening up about something personal to us that you may not know. There's also another movement called the Dialogue, where we're really trying to bring people together to give space to talk about humanity, to talk about racism, and how we can push forward and be progressive and come together. And Ambition as a whole is just a very amazing program, which involves entrepreneurship, racial awareness, and coming togetherness, and opening ourselves individually so that we're not just being judged as the cover of the book. So that's something that we're very much inspired to be a part of. We're creating a docu-series, a Zupa Life docu-series that's pretty much going to be about taking our brand and building an empire. But at the same time, what we want to do is bring the space to invite other people in the industry to tell their story, because we know that they once come from a point in their lives that they were probably disadvantaged as well. So they may have some advice or connections that they want to introduce to us or to the students. And so we're pretty much bridging the gap between that right there, and helping out these youth, and being a lane and creating something special for ZupaNova as well.
Oh, well, I was reading a little bit about it, and I really loved it. It's been around for a while. It was founded in 2010. Again, it's a nonprofit entrepreneurial program. So please go to the website ambition.org, and I would imagine on there you can donate, and it will tell you how to get involved. And you are in very good company with people like Paris Hilton being involved, and I guess it was who else did I say earlier? It was, Richard Branson. I love that man. Paris Hilton, Carter Reum, Ashton Kutcher, love him. So just go there and check it out and see how you can get involved. Again, it is ambition.org. And lastly, we want to talk about, we got like 1 minute. I want to find out what is on the horizon for ZupaNova. I understand not only is there music, tours, and events, but there's fashion involved too. Now with you two little hotties being you are, I'm thinking I can hope for a runway fashion show. Maybe not. I would like to see them rock some thongs, but no, a suit would be good. No, that was an outburst. I apologize, but you're just beautiful guys, just really beautiful men. And
Thank you.
I would love to come and see you in person. So please keep me on the invite list. I saw on your website that you have a performance at Kings Beach from June 17 to September the 2nd, and then another gig from September 22nd to 9/25 at the Walnut Festival. So where can we buy tickets? Or are there?
Well, on the website, you should be able to just click through it, and then it should give you the website that the venues are offering to purchase tickets. One of them is actually free. The one on the beach is actually a free show. There's also Joshua Tree. But basically anything on ZupaNovaOfficial.com, all the info for everyone should be there. And by the way, I want to say thank you very much for the shout out on the web design. I actually designed that myself from scratch.
Stop it! No, you didn't. Oh, that's right. You're a graphics designer, but I didn't see among your 432 titles, I didn't see website design.
I know, it needs to be 433.
What? That's right. Get on that. You need to get that because that's a beautiful site. Bands, again, you need to go to ZupaNovaOfficial.com because this is what you need to look like. If you're a modern band and you want to represent yourself professionally, this is how your website needs to look. I mean, it has everything. He's got the home, the music, the videos, the news. He's got the events, the bio. These are all things you need. A store. He has extras. I don't even know how, honestly, you find time to do music because I know doing a website is a full-time job. And I bet you also are responsible for the social media too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, social media, production, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Never ends with you two. You're just a dynamic duo. It's just incredible.
Yeah.
Well, everyone, I want you to please go and I friended you on Facebook and Twitter and all that, so hopefully you'll follow me back. And because it would be an honor to have you guys following me back, and I want to keep up with you. And please go to all their social media sites and give them a follow because you want to follow these two guys. They're a hot band and they are going places. Not only do they have the talent, that's half the battle. The other half is rocking your business sense, and these two have it locked down. You cannot have one without the other. You choose to be a musical artist, you are a business, you're an entrepreneur, and they're handling their shit.
Wow. Thank you, Priscilla.
So say goodbye to your fans, everybody. You too.
Hey.
Any shout
Thank
out?
you.
Yes,
that's absolutely.
Thank you for having us. We're honored. Thank you very much.
Best
Thank
interview,
you,
and we
sweet.
just love you. Your energy, you're so uplifting, and it's an honor to be here with you.
Oh my God, are you kidding? You guys are the best interview I had the whole year. Oh, I shouldn't say that.
Forget about all the sorties. We'd rather be here with you any day.
Thank you. Oh my God. Well, we got to come and see you live, and I'll bring my squad. I'll bring my squad. I'll bring them, honey.
There you go. Bring the squad.
All right, ZupaNova. We'll see you next time on Question Reality. Say goodbye.
Yay! Thank you.
Peace.
Bye, everybody. Bless up.
You're listening to Question Reality with Priscilla Leona, right here on LA Talk Radio.